Well, good morning. Welcome back. Whew, what a weekend. My name is Don K. Preston. I'm the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. And this last weekend, July 17th through the 19th, we had our annual Preterist Pilgrim Weekend here in Ardmore at the Ardmore Convention Center, and I'm still tired. But wow, what a fantastic seminar. I told you it was going to be great, okay? And we had two brand new speakers. We had Alan Bondar from Florida. We had David Boone from Texas. We had also Gerald Kratt from California. We had, pardon me, David Curtis from Virginia Beach, William Bell from Memphis, and myself. Our theme was the body of Christ, the resurrection, and the parousia. You know, there are those who tell us that unless Jesus, right now, in heaven, still has a 5'5" physical body, that this is anathema, this is heretical. Well, each of the speakers addressed the topic from various different ways and demonstrated absolutely powerfully that concept is anti-biblical. There's simply no evidence for it. And I have to tell you, comments such as fantastic, awesome, wonderful, and best ever Preterist Pilgrim Weekend, those were the comments of the day. I mean, everybody was just blown away by the quality of the presentations, the research that was more than obvious in the presentations. You know, just to begin, David Curtis did his usual fantastic job. David addressed death and life in the book of Romans, and how Paul goes back to the garden. Paul defines death and life in a corporate sense and in a spiritual sense. He also addressed the question of who is in the body of Christ today. Can everyone be a member, pardon me, of the body of Christ and enjoy the salvation blessings of it? Two great lessons. William Bell spoke to us on 2 Corinthians chapters 3 through 5, setting the covenantal context for the discussion of Paul's statement. We know that if we have an earthly house, tabernacle, we have a building of God, a house not made in hands, eternal in the heavens. Was that a corporate house? Was that an individual body? Absolutely wonderful. His discussions of the little term found, and of course not made with hands, are incredibly, incredibly important. Pardon me. Gerald Kratt really stretched our minds by giving us the historical, cultural background, the world of thought of the Greeks, the Romans, and the Hebrews, demonstrating their worldview and how Paul incorporated their worldview, how the New Testament writers are so very often at odds with the worldview that was dominant in the world at that time. Just some really fantastic and extremely well presented lessons. As I mentioned, we have two brand new speakers, David Boone from Texas and Alan Bondar. Now, I'd heard Alan Bondar a couple of times before. I was with him in Kansas City in 2011. I spoke at his conference in Florida a few years back. Alan is a very energetic, very well-prepared speaker. I tell you, he just kind of blew us away with his presentation on the typology of the temple and the body of Christ. The type and the antitype of Israel's feast days, the type and the antitype of the temple itself as it relates to the body of Christ and his work as a high priest. Oh, wow. Just absolutely wonderful. David Boone gave us two extremely well presented lessons on, and the second one, to me, on misplaced hope, was just one of the best organized, one of the best presented lessons that you could possibly imagine, pointing out the absolute need. If we're going to try to understand the Bible, we have to understand and apply audience relevance. I had 3 lessons. I had one on the nature of the body of Christ after his resurrection, before his ascension, and therefore what that means for his post-ascension body. I had a lesson on in like manner in Acts chapter 1. As you can tell, my voice is kind of weak and worn out. And my final lesson was on the transfiguration and the implications of the vision of what the disciples saw on that mount for understanding the nature of the parousia and therefore the resurrection. Well, as you can tell, I mean, we packed an awful lot of material and information into these presentations. I will be having the DVDs prepared as soon as I can get it processed, because already folks have been, I got to have copies of the DVD. I got to have those. And so we'll get those available to you just as soon as possible. As you can tell, we had an absolutely fantastic time. Here on Facebook, just look at the comments. Look at the comments and the pictures that were taken, what have you. You can tell the Preterist Pilgrim Weekend 2014 was a tremendous success. We had 14 states represented. We had our very best Thursday night attendance ever. It was just wonderful. Be looking for the DVDs and the MP3s. I'm not taking pre-orders just yet. Don't want to do that. But as soon as they are ready, and I'll get on it as quickly as possible, you can order those. And believe me, folks, you are going to love what you see and hear from Preterist Pilgrim Weekend 2014. Thanks for joining me for this morning's Morning Musings. We'll see you on the flip side. God bless. You have a great day.